My name is Havoc. I am the Monster of Madness on WoW, Women of Wrestling. I've been wrestling for about 15 years, and since I started at WoW, I have shown everyone who's watched exactly what I can do in the ring.
And we're ready to take any questions. Oh, I should just stand here for the first ones.
Hello, Carla, Skitbags Radio.
Nice to meet you.
So besides the Beast, you seem to be right up there as like an alpha female of this show. Who do you feel is your biggest competition at WoW?
I think that my biggest competition here at WoW probably is the Beast, and there's also Tessa Blanchard. Let's not forget, she is the WoW Women's Champion, and she has shown exactly why she is. And it's no secret why I am here at WoW, and Tessa and I have already had a run-in together in the ring. And even though I'm here for the WoW Tag Series with my partner Hazard, as soon as we capture those belts, when I see Tessa, she's next. I haven't forgot about her.
Thank you.
Who's shy? Okay, anybody else have a question? Oh, yeah, okay.
I won't bite.
Thank you, Cindy. Ms. Havoc, hello, thank you. It says here in your profile that you grew up in Ohio. Growing up in Ohio, did you always know that you wanted to be the Monster of Madness in professional wrestling? And if so, what influenced you to get there?
So, yes, I am from Ohio, and ever since I could remember, my mom was a big wrestling fan. I always remembered wrestling being on TV. One of my biggest inspirations was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Loved the persona and things like that. I had influences like that, and around when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I thought, this is something I want to do. I feel like there's something I could do different in this industry. And when I just as I turned 17 years old, I found a wrestling school in Massillon, Ohio, where I went to high school, and I started training, and the rest is history.
Fantastic. And one follow-up question, if that's
Sure,
okay. Being a athlete of your size, sometimes you're a much bigger in terms of actual physical attributes and how you wrestle your matches. Do you find that you having the power approach will help you succeed in WoW?
Absolutely. I think that with everything shown thus far that I've done at WoW, power is one of my strong points. I like to pride myself on the fact that even though I am a bigger performer, I am also a little more agile than other big girls, and there are things that I can do in that ring and outside of that ring that you guys haven't even seen yet.
Well, we look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Havoc, if you can tell them a little bit about your gaming life as well. She is on Twitch, so I'll let her tell you a little bit about what she does also outside of the ring.
So, as she mentioned, I've been an avid video game player. That's also another big part of my childhood. One of my favorite video game series is the Resident Evil series, and that's actually where I got a lot of inspiration for the character that I portray in the ring now. The gas mask is something that I saw, and like as I got older, like I just thought, I want to use this because this is going to help me stand out. So now, fast forward to now, about a year ago, Twitch TV, they contacted me and wanted to partner me up. And so now I'm partnered with Twitch, and I'd like to say that I'm living the dream because not only am I wrestling for a living, but I'm also getting paid to play video games. So that video games are another big passion of mine. It's a lot of what I do on my off time. So, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time.
Yes, hello. As a avid Resident Evil fan myself,
Awesome.
what would you consider your favorite game in the series to be? And on top of that, how did you feel about the Resident Evil remakes they did from the original games that came back out on the PS1?
So, my favorite Resident Evil game is the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 4. One of my favorite characters is Leon. I've determined that because of those two games. Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil Biohazard, because I know in Japan the Resident Evil series is called Biohazard. So when they kind of revisited the survival horror with that, and I thought that was really cool. Not a fan of first person, but I really feel like the first person shot with that game really helped with the survival horror part and jump scares. But I would have to say that they killed it with the Resident Evil 2 remake. I can't tell you how many times I replay that game. I also I'm strictly PS4. I love PS4. And I'm very much when it comes to video games, I'm obsessed with, I have to 100% these games. I need to get all these trophies. So right now, like Resident Evil 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are the games that I'm focusing on. So, but yeah, I would have to say out of the Resident Evil series, Resident Evil 2 and 4, but the remake of 2 is amazing. And I heard that they're talking about doing a remake of Resident Evil Nemesis, which would be super dope, but really, really scary because the Nemesis would just pop out on it. It was just at random. I remember being scared as a kid playing that too.
Sure.
So.
I promise. The last question
It's
about
okay.
Resident Evil.
I would talk about this stuff all day.
Great. So 9 more questions about Resident Evil.
Sure.
How did you feel about the film series that came out? And in terms of your new path now with Twitch, are you primarily playing story-based games, or are you doing anything online against other players?
So, as far as the Resident Evil film series, so big fan of Mila Jovovich. She's one of my favorite actresses. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Fifth Element. So I was excited to see that she was in the Resident Evil series, but it was disappointing for the first few films because they changed so much and added so many different characters, and I was just like, what is this? But the last couple films I thought got a little bit better, and of course when they introduced some of the original, like the characters from the video game, like Leon and Ada, they cast those characters great, but I was just like, oh, what are you guys doing? It's all mapped out for you right there. What did you change it for? But, and as far as like the type of video games I play, a lot of it is very story-based. The only Battle Royale game that I play is Fortnite, and the only reason I play Fortnite is because that's like a social game for me. All of my friends play it. I'm not a fan. I think it's kind of, that game is bullcrap. I feel like it's, like I'm so good at so many games, but when it comes to Fortnite, I'm like, I shot that guy 15 times and I died. How did this happen? So it's very much a social game, but like, as far as games that I play, like I like, like the Resident Evil series, the Uncharted series, The Last of Us, anything with a really good story. And the reason why I love the Red Dead game so much is because it's so open world, and you could just go, like you don't have to focus on main story, and you could just go off and just do anything you want. And I can't believe I didn't mention, I'm also huge into like Fallout 4. I love that game too. It's a lot of fun. And for the same reasons, because of the story, and then you can also go off and just discover things and shoot things and run from things.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for...
Do you want to tell them where they can follow you and your
Sure.
channel?
So my Twitch TV account is twitch.tv/Jessica Havoc, and it's spelled JESSICKAHAVOK. My Twitter is @FearHavoc, and my Instagram is Havoc Death Machine. All one word.
And yeah, she did a lot of live tweeting to the episode. She was great, and I just really wanted to thank them for all the coverage they did. Did you see a big bump from being on WOW and Access TV?
Absolutely, I did, and I was so just overwhelmed with how much support WOW got when it started airing, and I did something a little different when it was time for my live, when, they're like, we'd like you to live tweet, I decided that I would stream myself, just watching WoW and on Twitch while, and it was cool to watch the show and then to read what everybody was thinking about in the chat and like how they thought of it. And I saw so many positive things, and it's just really cool to be on national television for someone like Access who like they're so supportive, and they're like it's nice to just have such a big support of just empowering women and just giving us that platform to show what we could do as the best female wrestlers out there.
Anybody have another question? Okay. Oh, we want to, okay. And then we'll take pictures with you. Thank you.
All right. So I noticed it says that you're a big fan of bringing the pain to people out there in the wrestling ring. Do you have a special move that you like to hit people with that you feel does like the heaviest damage?
It's funny you mention it. I have a list of moves that I like. One of my signature moves is called the backbreaker. And I think that it speaks for itself. One of my big inspirations for that being my signature is actually, I'm a huge fan of Batman as well, and I remember a comic book cover that my dad had when I was a kid of Bane having Batman over his knee in that move, and like I just thought, I'm gonna take that. I think that's cool. And so any wrestling fan who comes to watch me wrestle, they know they're gonna see those. I'm a fan of kicking people in the face, choke slam, just grab them by the throat and just drive them to the mat. Anything where I could just pick them up as high as possible and then just drop them down as hard as I can.
Nice high impact wrestling. I like it. All right, so just one last question.
Sure.
As this evolved my tag team parade. So I noticed your partner Havoc is also a pain breaker like yourself. Is there a good cop, bad cop scenario between you two? And who's the good cop and bad cop?
We're both pretty mean. And I think that's why she and I complement each other so well. We've known each other and have been good friends for about 15 years, and I think that's why a lot of our chemistry in the ring works. She and I, even though we're very different in size, our styles in the ring very much complement each other. She may not be able to, she may not be as strong as I am, but she is one of the hardest hitting women that I've seen in the ring. She's very technical based. She's one of the best female technical wrestlers out there. And I am glad that she is going to be along my side here at WOW so that the world can finally see who she is and what she can do.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.